Hello, and thank you for joining me for another edition of Fangirl Thursday. I am super excited to be with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are watching from the Two Girls in a Book page, if you could go ahead and comment, give me a thumbs up or hello to let me know that you guys are out there. Just want to make sure everything is working good with the Be Live app tonight. I did have some problems with it over the last week. In fact, it has come to my attention that I posted a unboxing video for you guys on Saturday for Monster Ivy Publishing, and apparently the only thing that appeared on that video is a black screen and a cover of the book. Now, for those of you that are familiar, Monster Ivy gives a book giveaway for each of their releases, and in that box giveaway, there's the book and then items that go along with it. So I had this whole spiel where I dressed up in a feather boa, I had on silk gloves, there were some black bird feathers, there was some jewelry. It was a big deal. It was a blast. And for whatever reason, absolutely none of it recorded, even though I could see it on the screen. You guys saw none of it. So sometime this weekend, I will be doing all of that all over again and getting that up for you. It was so much fun the first time. I can't wait to do it again. Also, in keeping with the Spooktacular reads for this month, wanted to let you guys know that I do also have up on the blog, for anyone who's interested, some not so quite haunted reads, and these come from the amazingly talented Carolyn Ritter Aspenson. These are two of them are novellas and one of them is a full-length novel. But they're all available on Kindle Unlimited, and we'll give you some insight into some of the cozy series that she has. So they are Halloween themed, and they may have a ghost or goblin or two in them, but there's nothing overly scary or frightening about these stories. So if you are looking for something with a Halloween theme that won't leave you hiding under the covers and peeking out into the darkness to see what's happening, then these are definitely the books for you guys to check out. Now, without further ado, let's have the amazingly talented Brandy Nacole join us to talk about her book, Deep in the Hollow. Hello!
Hi!
It must have gotten dark there because you look like you're in a black hole.
I was like, oh my gosh, it's getting dark. See if we can turn on a light.
You kind of gave a whole, there we go. You kind of gave a whole new feeling to my Spooktacular reads.
We're going to get dark.
I know. So for you guys that are watching and listening out there, we are talking about Deep in the Hollow. It is the first book in the trilogy, and it is available on Kindle Unlimited for those of you that are interested. There is a link over in the comments for you guys, so you can click on that link. It will take you to my blog. It'll give you a little information on the book, the author, and it will direct you to Amazon so you can snag your copy. So, Brandy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
These things do not go off without a hitch most times, but I appreciate that you are sitting in the dark.
Yeah.
Being here with us tonight. Thank you so much. So tell us a little bit about the story Deep in the Hollow.
Deep in the Hollow was inspired to me from an urban legend in my area, and it's about a girl who faces a tragedy when she loses her boyfriend one night mysteriously, and everybody starts to blame her. They don't believe her story when she tells them something strange happened, and they start attacking her. Um, and then a year later, on the anniversary of his death, another death happens. And so it's just about unraveling what's happening, the mystery behind the town, the secrets, and Cooper and Jada come in, and they're hunters, and they help Joe dig through the town's history to find out what's going on. And it kind of all like tied back into my town's history, and some of it's true, some of it's not. But yeah, it was just about persistence and knowing something in your gut's not right and finding the truth.
I think some of the best stories, whether they are a scary story or not, are just awesome when they are based on they have some underlying truth to them.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the urban legend that inspired the story for you.
Okay. Well, I have a little picture here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. I usually send out these pamphlets with the book.
Hmm.
Currently I'm out, but I do have one. And this is the Overlook where the story takes place.
I
Yes.
have it.
Yes. And what it is you can go up to this, and I, as a teenager, I was up there all the time. And there are stories like you can read on here of what people have seen, and I'll read a couple of these. It says the lights appear in the valley and flicker and sway most of the time. On one active occasion, I saw them move about 3 miles in around 10 to 15 seconds. They appear all colors and can even light up the whole valley. I've actually seen these myself a few times. I've been up there when scientists were up there trying to figure out what it is. Like they were trying to see if it was a gas or whatever, and they never could figure out what it was. But the legend behind it, there's actually two. One is there was an old couple that lived up there, and they had silver, and they had paid a local doctor with silver, and he was like, "Where did you get this?" And so the little old lady told him that there was a mine, and he spent the rest of his days until he died trying to find it. So some say it's him still searching for this silver mine. Another story is that it's the conquistadors. They came through our area looking for gold and silver, and there was, Indians lived in the valley, and some believe that it's them looking for it, and like there was a conflict. There's a Indian burial ground at the bottom of the valley, and
Hmm.
so they believe like there was a conflict, and it's like the Indians trying to protect the valley, and the conquistadors had come in and was trying to take their land and their gold. And so a lot of people will go up there and scream, "I've got your effing gold," and the lights will flash really bright.
Now, have you ever gone up there and screamed that phrase?
Oh yeah, probably probably more than I should have, really.
What happened?
Sometimes nothing. Sometimes there was one time I remember distinctly. I was up there and it was a full moon, and I didn't see anything, but I got this like creepy feeling, like one that I
Mhm.
had never had before. And so I got in my car. Me and my friend got in our car, in my car, and I was like, I just got totally freaked out. And so we left, and the whole time we're driving down the mountain, I'm looking in my rearview mirror because I feel like something is watching me. And the moment we turned off the dirt road onto the highway, it was gone. Like the feeling left, and it was
Oh, wow.
so creepy. Yeah.
Spooky.
So yes, it was totally creepy. And so that's what all the legends and all the people that talk about it around here is what inspired the book, but nobody really knows what it is. And so I
Mhm.
just kind of took facts and stories and did interviews around here, and all of the things that I found I tried to incorporate into the story.
Cool.
Yeah.
It just adds a little bit of the goosebump
Yes.
factor
Yes.
knowing that about it. That's
Like
really
there's
cool.
there's one story in there where they did a flashback, and there was a brother and a sister that were fishing. That actually
Mhm.
happened to my great uncle and his sister.
Oh,
So
wow.
Yeah. So, like, a lot of the stories in there are things that I have been told from someone.
Makes me want to go back and read it again. What can you tell us, because this is a trilogy, so tell us about the other two books in the series.
Buried in the Bayou. I actually went to Louisiana because I wanted to continue Joe and Cooper's story. It wasn't finished. I wanted a story for each of them. And so I went to Louisiana because at the end of Deep in the Hollow, he went to Louisiana. So I
Mm-hmm.
actually went to Louisiana to find a not so heard about legend. And I found one and did some research on it. And that is what that's the basis, that legend, which is a haunted bayou that's, there was a shipwreck and like murder and all that, which is in the book. But it's a
Mm-hmm.
continuation of Joe and Cooper's complicated relationship because I don't know if there's any supernatural fans. I mean, me, but but like the complications of being a hunter and having a relationship, and Joe not having been raised as a hunter, and him not
Mm-hmm.
wanting to drag her into it, but her being persistent and being like, "I'm going to do this with or without you, bro." So,
Mm-hmm.
so it continued with that in book two.
Cool. And is Whispers in the Lake the third book?
Yes, and it's about the sister Jada,
Okay.
and she's like suffered a lot of heartbreak, and it's more it we there's a little spotlight on Joe and Cooper,
Mm-hmm.
but I really wanted a story for her because you see her pain in Deep in the Hollow, you see her pain
Mm-hmm.
and struggling in Buried in the Bayou. So I really wanted to shine a light on her struggles as a girl hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, a lot of her past, her and Cooper's past come to light in that while they're in Maine, where I found another urban legend to go off of. It's off of Ellis Island, in
Mm-hmm.
Maine. Like, people hear screams from that island. It's like a little island in the middle of this lake. And so I done research on it, and I kind of had to make up a little bit more to that one because there
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a whole lot of information on it. But it book three expresses her struggles while she's trying to
Mm-hmm.
unravel this mystery.
Cool. Awesome. Um, do you have an excerpt from Deep in the Hollow that you want to share with us?
Well, I did, but I lost it. So,
Oops.
so, like we said, nothing ever goes off without a hitch. But so that's on me. Like, I had it, and then I dropped my book and I lost it. So I don't know if I can just spot on find it again. But basically, it's one of my favorite scenes in the book. And Cooper is telling Joe that he's a hunter, he hunts ghosts, what she saw is real, and she just deadpan looks at him and says, "Look, I only have enough room for crazy for one person in my life, and I'm currently residing there." So that was like one of my favorite scenes in the book, because I kind of relate to that.
I am jumping onto Facebook just to make sure that everyone is seeing us, and that comments are popping up, because of course they're not all showing up
Right.
on my screen for me to see. But it looks like we have Elaine Sapp and my partner in crime, Crystal Gray, with us tonight, as well as Brittany Carnes. Brittany, thank you so much for popping in tonight. I
Hey,
appreciate
ladies.
all of you guys being here. I know a lot of you come back and check out the videos either here after the fact or on my YouTube channel. So whether you're watching live or you pop back in, we appreciate it. You can always post any questions that you have during the live or after the fact. One of us will definitely get back in touch with you. So, oh, hi, Mary Graves. She's popping in with us tonight. Mary, you missed it earlier when I told the story about how I did this fantastic unboxing for your book, and it consisted of a black screen and a book cover. that's it. But I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna work on that this weekend and see if we can't do a little better with that. But again, thank you guys so much for popping in tonight. If you want to ask Brandy any questions about this book or any of her other books, because she does have other series. Let's see what I have over here.
Another one that I brought, I did bring one with me.
Oh,
It's
okay.
that I I sent, and it's not just me. This is multiple. Yep, this one. This is a good one for right now, especially if you're super busy and wanting to read some stories. Uh, there's several.
Sorry, something fell on my shelf and I was really fixing to leave the premises.
I'm haunting you, Lynn. I'm sending the haunts to you.
If I leave the premises, you know it's because I was not alone in this room. I mean, in a moment after that, oh my gosh. It's just in slow motion, the book fell off the bookcase, and I was like, what is that noise? What is behind me? What's coming to get me? There's not a lot of room back there for something to come out of nowhere to get me. Whew. It's your fault. It's because you told me a scary story and you're sitting in the dark. You did this to me.
I'm like,
Okay.
here's the spotlight.
Right? Okay, let's regroup. We're going to talk about Academy of the Dead. I do own it. I haven't read anything out of this yet. So, this is perfect for Halloween.
Yes. It's ghost stories. It's got reapers. It's got witches. I mean, it's and they're all short stories. So, like, if you need a quick read, fantastic authors.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Casey Bond, Rue Volley, you, S.J. Davis, just to name a few.
That's right.
What's your book? Your story? Excuse me, your story in this book.
Mine is called Reap My Soul.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's about a reaper who is, and they're all school based YA. It's all YA. So she's a reaper, and she has to go to this school and pretend to be a teenager again to reap a soul that won't leave. And she actually gets attached to him, and so it's very complicated, but and he helps her figure out some other local things, and so it's a touching story, but it's also about reapers and ghosts and things like that. So,
well, I am definitely moving that to the top of my list. That's Academy of the Dead, and it's a dead anthology. And is it wide or is it KU?
I think it's just KU right now.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I also have by you this nice thick book.
Yes.
And this is the Shadow World trilogy. So it is all 3 books. That's why it's so thick. What is this series about?
Well, that one's more fantasy, paranormal, the main character is a hybrid, which is not allowed. She's bullied. It was kind of like my teenage angst, writing. She was bullied. She has to overcome that, accept herself, all while traveling the world with these paranormal creatures to find her half sister who's been kidnapped. And so it's a lot. Like, I've gotten a lot of readers who's messaged me about how much they related to the story, about how much it inspired them to just keep going and fall in love with yourself, basically. So, bullies, they suck.
They do. They do. I think you find a lot of people, especially, it's weird, a lot of people in the book and blogging community as a whole have that underlying, one of the things that a lot of us have in common is that we were nerdy in school, we were bullied, and all of that stuff. And I would really like to go back to, like, I've moved away from my hometown I
Yep.
don't see or have contact with anyone from that town anymore. So they don't know about me on Facebook or anything else. And I would love to just go back and be like, ta-da!
Right. Right. I know.
You know, you people are sitting at home with your little old jobs, being miserable.
Yep.
But that's
I know.
ugly. I don't want to
I
be
know,
ugly.
exactly. I know.
I don't
Even
know. I
so,
got off on a horrible spot there.
hey, I think we all on some level kind of feel that. We're like,
Yeah.
look what I did with my little
Hmm.
old books.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I was bullied and things like that in school, but the difference was I didn't let it get to me. I
Yeah.
was just like, whatever. And I went on. I didn't have a large circle of friends. It didn't bother me. I was okay being by myself because even back then, I was a complete nerd. So either I was doing homework weeks in advance
Hmm.
or I was reading a book or something like that. And my
Yep.
circle was very small and it just didn't bother me
Yeah.
as much, and
Yeah.
I was raised to just keep my mouth shut and let it ride.
That's
But if
exactly, yeah.
they got physical, then it was on.
Yeah, that's right.
So being
Keep
a
your mouth
Southern
shut.
girl,
Yeah.
there
My
were a
dad was
few
always
scrapes
like,
along the way, and my mama got a few phone calls, but
yep. My mom was always like, you let them hit first, then you can have them.
yes, 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 that was my grandma.
Yeah.
You let them throw the first lick, but you don't wear nothing off of them, girl.
That's right.
Oh, that is such a fun memory of my grandmother. She's passed away now, but yeah. So, um, we've totally gotten off. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. It looks like you guys are busy commenting on my personal page, which is great, but none of it is showing up for us to see it. So, I appreciate you guys being over there and watching tonight. And it looks like we've got Brittany on the Two Girls and a Book page. Brittany, thank you so much for being here. Says that Brittany said she has added one to her TBR. If I can, I'm supposed to be able to share messages, and it's on lockdown over there. I'm sorry, Brittany. So I think Brittany was talking about the Academy of the Dead, and we got a shout out from Mary Gray as well. She loves the cover and the title. I think
Yes.
it's a really cute book.
Yes.
It's been on my shelf. I haven't picked it up and read anything out of it yet, but perfect for
Yes.
October. So I'm going to move that up a little higher on the stack. If you guys have any questions at all for Brandy, I almost called you Brittany, for Brandy about any of the books that she has talked about tonight, go ahead and get those posted for me. Brittany, my screen is locked, so if you are posting anything, I may not be getting it. I
I
am going to
hang on. I'm still here.
I'm
So far
going
better.
to hop over on my phone here and see if I can pull up the comments that you're over there making so that we don't miss anything. They make this whole video thing so complicated. Um, when you do the Facebook Live, they've changed it now where I think you can bring someone on with you, but you can't do graphics or book covers or anything while you're there. So if you don't actually physically have a copy of it to show,
Yeah.
you can't do that. Whereas with this app, I can make graphics, I can attach links to those graphics so that when they pop up on the screen and we're showing them to everyone else, the links are then posting in my comments. So if someone is watching us and they go, oh, I want to buy that book, well, the link's readily available there in the comments for them to click on. So I like using the app for that reason. But then when it's hiding the comments from me and I don't know what's going on, that doesn't do me any good. So bear with me, Brittany. I'm checking to make sure that I've seen all of your comments. Okay. All right. I think. There we go. I got you, Brittany.
There we go.
Brittany says that she has added it to her TBR, and we appreciate that, Brittany. That is the purpose of this, is to share the love of books and to have you guys get to meet different authors and interact for them. Brittany,
That's
if you have any questions for Brandy, go ahead and get those posted in the comments, and I will definitely try.
That's how I got Mary's book, because of this.
That's right.
Yeah.
You and I talked about Mary Gray's book. Yay! That makes me so happy. Have you started that yet?
I have not, because I was finishing up. I have a book. I had a book come out yesterday, and I have another one coming out next week. So it's just been promo. So I haven't got no reading done, but that is on my list for the
Well, that is awesome. I actually have the paperback copy, and had my live unboxing video worked at all, you would have been able to see this gorgeous interior. Look at that.
That's so
How pretty is that? Oh my gosh. This book is just, yeah. You never know who's reading or seeing your stuff. I mean, sometimes I feel like, was anybody seeing anything? Because you don't see a lot of views or a lot of comments on things that you're putting out there. And I promote non-stop just because it's what I love. And so when you finally run into someone like yourself who says, hey, I saw that and I grabbed that book, it is just the absolute best feeling. So I love it when someone tells me that they've seen a book or they have picked something up because of a recommendation that I made. So hopefully a few people will pick up yours tonight as well. Super excited for that. You mentioned you had a new release today and you have another one coming up next week. So tell us about those, because I missed those.
Okay. Well, it's we've been doing a lot of ad promo and group promos, but it's with Fire and Quill Publishing. They're 2 box sets. The one that released yesterday was a mystery box set called Notorious Minds. My book is called I Will Bury You, and yeah, it's about a girl who it's a psychological thriller, and the girl starts having memory issues, spaces in time, notes, and people start dying, and she's getting framed for it, and she doesn't understand why. And the moments of time that are missing kind of start linking together with other aspects of her life. And anyway, it's just a big mystery about trying to figure out what's going on. And she kind of comes to the terms that she hasn't lived a life that she thought she had. And she has she has a personality issues. And so it's really intense, and it was a really intense book to write because, between the personalities, trying to switch that. But I think it went pretty well. So that released yesterday, and it's currently on sale for 99 cents for the all 19 books.
What was the name of that one again?
It's Notorious Minds box set. And it should be on my Amazon page.
Is it KU or wide?
It's wide.
Okay. Making a note so I can go on there and get it.
And the other one is also with Fire and Quill Publishing. It's called the Souls Day box set, and it's paranormal horror. And mine is actually a prequel to Deep in the Hollow. It's called Hidden in the Dark.
Oh.
And it is the villain, I guess you would say, of Deep in the Hollow. It's her story and why she went from good girl to the leader of a witch coven in the valley.
I gotta have that one. Making a note. We do have some questions popping in over on my personal page, so I can't transfer them over to show them to you, but I I can read them to you. Oh, I can show this one. Brittany says she picked up the box set and she's excited to read it. Yay!
Yay!
This has
Thanks,
turned into such a
Brandy.
fantastic night. I feel like a selling machine. That makes me so excited. You guys have no idea. It's so nice to share that love and that joy with you guys.
Yes.
We have Jody Brooks Stone joining us, and she came in kind of late, so she missed in the beginning when we were talking about the inspiration sort of for Deep in the Hollow. So she asks, where do you find your inspiration?
Life experiences. Like I said, the Shadow World trilogy was based, teenage angst, my own teenage angst. All the urban legends, I kind of got that passion from my grandpa. I can remember many times sitting with him, and him telling me about the Headless Horseman and the lady at the cemetery who went to the community dance and danced with the boy all night long, and he gave her his jacket, and he went back the next day to get it, and the mother said that she was dead, and he went to the cemetery and his jacket was on her tombstone. And so like he told me all kinds of stuff growing up, and it was like my favorite thing to be able
Yeah.
to go to grandpa's, sit around the fire, and what you got this time. So that's where a lot of my passion for the Shindy series came from,
Mhm.
was that passion he gave me growing up about legends and the mystery thing. I don't know. I'm just what they call a murderino. If there's any my favorite murder fans, hey, um, I just crime, why the whole why did you do it? It really
Mhm.
gets, yeah. So
I am addicted to murder mystery shows. Anyone who follows my page knows that I am a huge Law and Order fan. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
I am addicted. And I always find it so funny when they say that it's not a true story and all that kind of stuff at the very beginning of it, because you'll be like 10 minutes into it and you'll be like, yeah, I saw that on Dayline.
yeah, I know. You
Uh-huh.
got
You can't fool
inspiration.
me.
That's right.
And I've been watching older seasons. I'm on season 19 of SUV right now, and or SVU, sorry, season 19. And it's funny because on Hulu, when you go in to watch the different seasons, it has it broken down by the entire season, or um, the favorite or the best episodes of Stabler, and then it also has a rip from the headline section. And I'm like, yeah, who they've been kidding. And I was watching it tonight, and I looked at my husband, and I was like, this is the Stacy Peterson story right here.
That's right.
He did it. He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah. It's funny. I love that kind of stuff.
Oh
I
yeah,
binge watched Rizzoli and Isles, all the Law and Orders. It doesn't matter how many times I've seen them. If it's on TV, I have to turn it on and
yeah,
watch that. And I recently got into NCIS New Orleans,
yes.
and I think I'm up to season 5 on that one. So
I was obsessed with Bones, the show
I
Bones.
have not watched that.
I have
I'm gonna
every
have
season
to.
on DVD, like so I can just turn it on and go. I
I'm
love
gonna
that
have to
show.
check that out. I'm always even usually with my books, even I am late to the show. Like Deep in the Hollow's been out for quite a
Yeah,
while, and I'm
yeah,
just not getting around to it because I buy books and I put them on the shelf and I think I'm going to read this, and
yeah,
I make a list and I even post pictures and say this is what I'm going to read this month, and it never happens that way.
yeah. No, yeah, I know. There's so much out there.
There is. Who are some of your favorite authors to read when you have downtime?
Um, don't put me on the spot like that. No. um, Well, I like I've read every one of Casey Bond's books.
Oh, well, she's fantastic.
Yes.
I am behind though. I have not read everything from her. What's your favorite book or your favorite series from her?
Oh, I like them all, but When Wishes Bleed and Omen of Stones was really, I really liked those. Those were really good.
I love the Frenzy series.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's good too. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
They're so good.
And that's where I started with her, was with the Frenzy series. I went through them on Audible and I was just addicted. So I bought all the paperbacks and then I started, what's the name of that series? The High Stakes Saga. I've
Yeah.
started that series, but I haven't finished it. And I've read a couple of the fairy tales, and I did When Wishes Bleeds on audiobook. So I've been waiting because the Omen one is supposed to come out on audio as well, the Omen of the Stones. So I've been waiting for that one.
Yeah.
But
I
her
also
covers
like
are epic.
have you read any of or have you seen any of Karen McManus? She's a mystery writer.
Mhm.
She did One of Us is Lying, Two Can Keep a Secret. Her next book, The Cousins, is fixing to come out. I usually snag her books when they come out. They're mystery.
Karen McManus. Have to check her out. Which authors have influenced you as a writer?
Um, I like Rochelle Mead. I really got into her stuff and like followed her and um, a lot of indie authors mostly because like I've done book signings just me and Quinn Loftus here in Arkansas. And you know we talk and message and she's awesome. Um, and she's like added me to groups and like kind of gives you the inspiration to keep going. Stacy Rourke, Casey. I mean, there's just like a whole list of them that they just they're inspiring because they encourage you to keep going and they encourage you to be who you are and to
Mhm.
keep your passion and you know reach the levels that you reach in your time. And I mean, like I just love the book community. There's so many. Um, there's a few that oh, I'm trying to think. Uh, um, her first name's Jennifer, and her last name starts with an M. She does a lot. I wish I could remember her last name so I could give her a shout out. And Joe Michaels, gosh, love her. Um,
I've met her. She's awesome.
yes, we've talked. Okay, Jennifer McMurrin. She's awesome. She helps indie authors a lot. She has an indie page that she features authors on. Joe, yeah, Joe's awesome. I've never met her. I was supposed to meet her at Books and Booze. I was supposed to meet her um, at Roanoke this year. You know, COVID came, but yeah, she's awesome, and we're all working together to Books and Booze, which is next weekend. It'll be happening, and I'm pretty excited about that. Kelly Martin's
Yes, she's
here.
the keynote. Hmm.
Yep. So I'm pretty excited about that. So
Have
I'm
you met Kelly Martin?
no, I was supposed to meet her this year, and
Me too. She's my best friend, and I need to let her know that.
mm-hmm,
I need to meet her so she knows.
you were my person.
That's right. She's my person. I am her person. Yes. I need to meet her.
Yeah,
I love her books. I love her accent. It makes me so happy when I can talk to someone that is just as Southern as I am.
yeah, I know. She's awesome.
That kindred spirit you get going. It's always
That's
really
right.
good. So I'm going to scan through really quick to see if we have any more questions popping up. If you guys have any, go ahead and get them posted. I am strolling through the app as well as my phone to make sure that we don't miss any. Otherwise, we're going to kind of wrap this up because we have Brandy out in the dark. We don't want anything bad happening to her out there.
Like, please no, I don't want to be on a murder show, y'all.
No, absolutely not. This has been so much fun. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this. Next time we'll plan a earlier show so you can be in the daylight. I didn't realize we were going to be. Spotlight. I didn't realize we were going to be doing this from your car.
Well,
I mean, we can always change the time. I'm not locked in at 7:30. If I need to go earlier or later, I certainly can. And I appreciate
the early sunsetting now. And so, like, where I live out in the middle of like the boondocks, and I have satellite internet, which sucks. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna be real with you. And I was like, it might not work and it'll be fun. I was like, I'm just gonna drive down till I get service. I get that beautiful LTE, and then I'll just do it.
Well, I appreciate you putting forth so much effort to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't see any additional questions coming in. If you are joining us late or if you watch this after the fact and you have any questions for Brandy, just post them in the comments. I will make sure that they get tagged and she sees them. And we appreciate you guys so much for joining us. Brandy, thank you again for being here tonight. It was wonderful chatting with you.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Well, you guys out there in Facebook land have a fantastic night, and we will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.